Welcome to Podtroidvania, a show where my computer overheats and you lose half the conversation. That's a joke about the last episode. I'm hoping that does not happen this time. But this is a podcast about gaming, about the games we love and the games that inspire us and have made us the people we are today. And today I have my good friend Geeb on, and we're going to talk about some of the state of gaming as of right now. And it's getting a little nuts out there, Geeb. How you been?
Oh, nothing. Just moving my entire life to Wisconsin. How are you doing?
I didn't realize that you had moved that far.
It's not really that far. I'm quite literally on the border of Illinois and Wisconsin now, where I was like, I only moved like 35, 40 minutes.
Okay.
But like literally, if you pull into our little neighborhood, the second you make that left-hand turn or right-hand turn into the neighborhood, it's like, welcome to Wisconsin. Like we are on the border.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. I mean moving is tough. I moved a few times within the course of a couple of years. And even the time where I moved from the back of a building into the front of a building and just literally just picked up my stuff and walked around the building and put it in the new apartment, that was also a pain. So I get it. Like, we bought this house and moved in, and we're like, we're not fucking moving. We're not going anywhere.
Yep.
We're done.
That's how I feel right now, especially. It's like, we just moved. I'm done. That's where I retire.
That's it.
That's it.
But yeah, I mean, look at what's happening with games today, man. We got... I think I have it in my notes kind of based like on platform going down, so maybe we could keep it in that format just to keep it organized. But starting with Sony, man, with the not making discs anymore for PlayStation games.
Yeah.
It's it is worse than we thought, right? Because they announced this and people started signing petitions, and they're like, hey, we need you to make discs. Like, we like our physical games. And they're like, oh yeah, well, turns out they've been closing disc factories or repurposing them for years now, and they're already working on doing it for the last one. So this was something that they've been already doing secretly, a shadow project in the background to get rid of physical games. And I guess from what I'm reading, I mean, take it with a grain of salt because I don't know what the source is, but Sony thinks that they have enough of a base of people who will be okay with just buying games digitally that they don't really give a shit about the people who buy games physically. They're like, basically just, we're just going to abandon you, essentially.
That last part, let's talk about that last part. I think that is, unfortunately, extremely true. I think, I don't remember the numbers on our show last week. Drip had actually gave numbers of like the percentage of people who, on all the platforms, who are still, who buy discs, who don't. And it's staggeringly higher. I don't remember the numbers. It's higher than you think. We'll just say that the numbers, because I don't remember the exact numbers, and I'm not going to fake the numbers right now, but it's higher than you think. And as far as digital being more desirable than physical, obviously you look at the industry 10, not even maybe like 5 to 10 years ago, it looks way different than it does right now.
Yeah,
and it's just surprising to see how quickly this is just kind of all happening at once. On top of the fact that we're going through Ramageddon, a lot of political turmoil. All that aside, that turmoil causing things happening in our hobbies, and all that aside, here we are with the digital just completely taking over as quickly as possible, probably due to COVID and just the world becoming way more digital after COVID.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, it's surprising how quickly it's happening, but it's not surprising. I don't know about you. Maybe you could talk about this, but it's not surprising to me that it's happening. I think we were always headed this direction ever since we went from the I don't think there was a middle ground. Well, yeah, I guess cassettes, but what I'm saying is like we went from analog to digital, and we're not looking back. And it's just this physical disc is the last resemblance of analog. It hasn't been, those discs or cartridges haven't really been analog for years. But yeah, are you surprised to see this happening as quickly as it has been recently?
I'm more shocked at the fact that it's like right now everything is just happening in such quick succession. Like, I've seen it, I've watched it, like same as you watched over the years, even just starting at the time where I just started making videos, which was about 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago, 4.5 or so, that even when I first started, I remember making a video saying like it's X amount of percentage people buying digital games, which was more than physical, even then 4 years ago. So it's been going up. But when you see this news, literally Sony's like, we're not doing discs anymore after 2028. And then you find out they're already closing the factories or repurposing the factories and all this other stuff. And it's like just moving so quickly. And I don't know. It's shocking because you also hear that third parties and even Sony's internal studios and publishers did not know this was going to be happening. Like, they heard when we heard. It's insane to not even share it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. It's insane to not even share it with, like, your internal publisher. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. At this point, that doesn't surprise me at all that they're not sharing with their publishers. The Sony and Microsoft in particular, not to call them out specifically, but I am, have been at a staggering rate, even more staggeringly fast than the transition from digital physical, been firing all and disbanding all of these developers, and everything like that. Not surprised that they're like not even sharing that information with them. Not that it doesn't pertain to them, but it's not like the first thing they need to know anyway. It's just as long as they can get their game to the customers, what's important. But still, kind of, it's definitely. Can we curse on the show? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've dropped a few of them already, so
okay.
Go ahead.
It's part of my normal language. I didn't even hear.
Yeah.
It's pretty shitty of them to just. They didn't have to tell them, but they should have, and they didn't, and that's pretty shitty of them. I mean, everything they're doing is pretty shitty right now. Let's just be honest. I was just watching something today. I think it was Austin Evans video, and he was saying how I've completely lost my train of thought. Where Austin Evans. Yeah, I completely lost. Austin says something really cool in that video. I just watched I can't remember right now. But I mean, the industry is crumbling. His video is basically like the industry is crumbling. However, Nintendo's the good guy right now? Question mark. Not that it's about Nintendo, but that was the video. I just can't remember what Austin said. But it's pretty. It's awful. What's happening right now is awful. We're watching the world burn. Even our hobby at the moment is just burnt on fire. And there's not a ton of like positives to look at. I mean, it's hard to find some positive stuff right now.
It's funny is there's memes. I've seen memes online, and it's like Sony, we're no more physical games after 2028. It's like Microsoft, we're laying off 3,200 people. Nintendo, look at this Yoshi. He can use his tongue to pick stuff up. It's like that's just so funny because like Nintendo's just like still like Nintendo's like the toddler in the corner like waddling around like woohoo, like having fun. But yeah, like I mean, as much as like I want to say like good guy Nintendo still does stuff that's not good. They still like they are still themselves encouraging people to buy digital games like before, like, you would just get certain perks, like installing games early and stuff. Like, Nintendo's straight up giving you a discount for buying a game digitally versus
and that depends the way you look at the glass, half full or half empty.
I know, right? They're either giving someone a discount on the physical game, or the physical game they're adding $10 to it or something, or however you want to put it.
Let's look at Star Fox quickly because it just came out, very relevant. Star Fox, $50 game. We can all agree $50 is a good price for that game. Yeah, I think it's a fair price. It's maybe. The Nintendo tax is definitely there. It probably should have been cheaper if it was made by any other publisher by Nintendo.
Yeah, 40 or something.
And also nostalgia tax on that as well. But, $50, fair price. However, that's not the price of the game, Jeff. The price of the game is $60.
Yes.
That's the real price. The physical price is the real price because you have to go with the higher price. You can't just go with the lower price and ignore that the game also costs more in a different format. That is the price of the game. And in my opinion, that is too high. It is not a $60 game. It doesn't mean that is not a jab at the game. If you like the game, don't be offended. Like, this is not me like taking a punch at the game. That is an objective looking at what you're getting for what it costs. I mean, like it's like looking at the dish soap and seeing the premium dish soap and you get it's like 30 cents per ounce, where you get the same stuff, the Walmart brand, for like 2 cents an ounce. It's like that's objectively too much money. It's probably great dish soap. Objectively too much money, and I just think $60 for the Star Fox is just too much money.
I think I would have. I didn't buy it yet. I know a ton of people have already. I'm actually getting not bullied, but kind of on the internet by a couple of friends that are like, "You haven't bought Star Fox yet?" And I'm like, "Listen, I know I love Star Fox. Listen, Star Fox, I rented. This is how old I am. Rented a Nintendo 64." to play Star Fox because my family did not have a Nintendo 64 when it came out.
Yeah.
And I rented it from Blockbuster. You go to the store and rent a game. Hollywood Video maybe, but
yeah, you could. Yeah,
that's or like one of the other family owned one. But like that. I have fond memories of Star Fox. I've played it a lot in my life, and it's the same story. Like they re-released Star Fox like 5 times now, and it's been the same game. So
ignoring that, I mean, my opinion was based off of ignoring that fact. This is like the 5th version of the same game.
Yeah.
I mean, you add that on top of it, it really kind of makes it kind of silly why it's a $60 game at this point.
Yeah, I haven't gotten it yet. I probably will at some point. Maybe I'll wait. Fall's around the corner. There's usually some kind of like holiday sale or something. Maybe they'll sell it for $40 for digital or something, and I'll pick it up. And I'll enjoy it because Star Fox is great. I think a lot of people who have played it a ton already and they play the new one, they're like, this new one's really good. And then people who have never played it really liked it too. So I'm sure it'll be worth it, but I'll wait. I mean,
that's kind of how I feel about Splatoon Raiders. It's the FOMO thing, man. I think especially now that I moved, the amount of money it costs to move, and they never tell you how much it costs after you move. Especially for us, with this is our first like home, so like we have to like not necessarily furnish it, but we have to like you gotta get the paper towels, gotta get the dish soap, you gotta get like everything to put into a house that we didn't have before. We got to put that in here. But what was I'm losing my train of thought today, Jeff. What was I just talking about?
Dude, I don't know. I think
I'm just complaining about my life at this point. That's what we're resorting
I think we're so like over inundated with everything that's happening, and at least for you with moving, me with like my work. I work in IT, and IT is draining as hell. So like we're just like this
is also my first time recording in this room.
Oh yeah,
this first. So I'm also just trying to get acclimated with the new room.
Yeah,
I'm already realizing I need to move my monitor because it's in a terrible spot. So
you're going no.
This is I'm like fixing and realizing in real time here.
Yeah, you'll grow into it. You'll figure out where everything goes. It'll be the best for you. But yeah, it'll take some time.
Anyway,
let's. I think we kind of did go off on a bunch of tangents. So I was like, hey, let's keep the one platform, and then we just like fired off. But I saw this. Someone shared this post from a social media platform that I'm no longer a member of. It says it's the Santa Monica studio, the studio for Sony that makes God of War. They posted a thing about God of War. There's going to be like this live panel or something, right? And then they're going to have all these things. You can ask questions, blah, blah. There were so many people in the comments saying, will this game release on a disc? That they actually had to make a sub like tweet. You'll know what platform I'm talking about now. Yeah. That says, we can confirm God of War Lo-Fi, or Lao-Fei, however that's pronounced, will be available on disc. So they literally had to like address it. Be like, yes, it's on disc. So that also tells us it's coming out before 2028. And so January 2028 is when discs will stop being a thing. So it's coming out at some point in 2027.
Well, Lao-Fei is 2027.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, right?
Did they say? I don't remember, to be honest.
I think they did. I don't remember like 100%, but I think they did.
But yeah, like, so people are saying, well, it's most definitely, like, even if they didn't, most definitely 2027 at that point because they said that. But I think it's just so funny that it's like that you have to say it because people will ask. But that's the thing, which is funny because Sony, their whole thing is, well, we sell way more games digitally than we do physically. But it turns out that the games that sell most physically are their single player first party games like God of War. People buy those physically more, as far as I understand, than they do digitally. And to abandon discs altogether for their own internal studios that sell more physically is kind of a weird choice.
I think that's very interesting, actually. I think that kind of highlights someone like me, where at this point in my my conversion from physical to digital, like they're all of us, we all converted at some. Even if you're fully physical, you still buy digital games. There's no way you don't.
There's some that don't come out with on a disc or a cartridge, right? So you have no choice if you want to play them. Like a lot of indies, stuff like that.
Yeah, but that highlights people like me, where even if I'm at this point, I'm buying majority of my games digitally. However, when there's a game that comes out that I really have a connection to, that I really love, particularly a franchise, like if it's a Zelda game, I'm buying it physical. Kirby, if I buy Kirby, I'll probably just buy that digital. It's not. I don't need to like. I don't feel the need to stick that on my shelf or something like that.
Right.
But that highlights. I think that particular statistic highlights people like me, where we're buying mostly digital games, but when it comes down to it, a game like God of War, they're really passionate about, I'm gonna go buy that physically because I want that experience, even if it's a double dip. Like I'll double dip sometimes for games I really want because I want the convenience of digital, but I do also want to be able to collect it.
Yes. And it's nice when you get the games that are 100% loaded onto that media, right? And you don't need, like, maybe there's some updates or something that you could download after the fact, but if you put that disc in and it will play, install and play or whatever, like some of them are, like those are, I love when that happens. I love that we're getting more and more games on Switch 2 that are full on cart. And I had Xbox first, but let's talk about Nintendo because we got like, even especially like Bethesda games, like Indiana Jones and the Oblivion remake or remaster is kind of a half and half because the base game is fully on the cartridge, but all the DLC packs are downloads. But like they're able to fit the whole base game and fit like the Indiana Jones game fully on cartridge, and you could stick that in and play that without needing an internet connection. And even then, since the game is on the cart and the license is on the cart, if you do download the DLCs for Oblivion, you can still play that offline because you have the license on the cartridge. You don't need to worry about it need to connect to the internet and
Right.
Nintendo also in the EU, Switch 2 is getting a replaceable battery.
Yes.
I think that's really cool. I wish that Nintendo wasn't legally forced to do it. I wish that they decided to do that kind of thing on their own.
Nintendo situation.
No,
they're being forced to do this,
and they're not. I can guarantee they probably will. Probably. I'm very confident that this will not come to the U.S. unless the same things happen in the U.S. But it also means that Nintendo's kind of abandoning the Switch 1 in the European region because they're not going to re-engineer a 10-year-old piece of hardware so that it'll work on to have a replaceable battery. But
so does that go for like everything in the EU? Like even can they not sell any cell phones that have a non-user replaceable battery? Like what does this mean? I'm not fully understanding how they have to stop selling a Switch 1, but they can keep selling like your 2023 model Samsung phone or something.
Let's see. So requires portable batteries and new consumer devices like smartphones, tablets, and cameras to be readily removable and replaceable by end users using basic commercially available tools without damaging the device. So this would, from the language there, include cell phones like the iPhone and Android phones and tablets. The Switch 2 is technically a tablet.
Yeah.
So, but that is consumer devices. I don't know if there are very special things. Let's see. Exemptions are devices that are used in the medical field and have and depending on the batteries, I guess, too. So if your battery like retains a certain amount of percentage after 1,000 cycles or something, that you can be exempt because it would be a long time before that battery would need to be replaced, I suppose. Everything should just have the 3DS battery.
Basically, although like there are some drawbacks to that too, like water resistance. There's a lot of reasons why they do make the phones the way they do these days. However, gluing glass on the back of the frame is not the call. You can do it. That's what can be done differently. Yeah. Honestly, I'm a proponent of replacing most phone backs, even the premium ones, to plastic, because like here's an example of my Pixel 10a. This thing, it's a little dusty. I literally took it out of the case to show you it, but this is a really sharp looking device, and this is a plastic back. This is not a glass back phone, and you wouldn't know it. You just touching it, you'd be like, oh, that's a nice little frosted glass or something. You wouldn't know it until you dropped it and it didn't shatter.
Right.
And also that also means that when you're replacing this battery in the future, when I replace this battery, I still got it's still glued on. I got to use like a heat gun stuff. But as I'm prying away the back, I was called the back glass, prying away the back cover, it's not going to shatter from the bending of it. Whereas with glass, if you ever try to replace the back of the phone with glass, it's almost impossible unless you have every tool that you need to get that thing off cleanly, which I don't have every tool. And I shattered a phone back like that because I was trying to get by with what I had, and you need like some sort of heat source. A hair dryer ain't gonna do it, son. Ain't gonna do it.
Get a heat gun and all that. Yeah,
you need a heat gun or a heat plate, and it's like now we're getting into territory that's too expensive to even do. It's buy a new phone, which is why they do it. So yeah, I'm a proponent of making things. Of course, all consumers should be a proponent of this EU law. Everyone should be wanting their country to adopt these laws for themselves. I can't imagine how you would disagree. If you are buying things, you are a consumer. Therefore, you should be in favor of pro-consumer legislation.
Especially any right to repair stuff like we're talking about here. If you look at things like the Steam controller, I watched a teardown video, and there's like some screws on the back. I think they are. What the hell is my Steam controller? I don't remember what kind of screws they are, but I don't think they're like Phillips. They're like Torx or one of those. But you can get a screwdriver for it, or a bit for like a iFixit kit. But you remove like
it's not Phillips, but
but you remove like 2, 3, 4, 5, it's like 5 or so screws, maybe a couple more, and you take that back off, and the battery's right there. And it's not even like plugged into a board or anything. It's like it's connected to like little metal things or whatever, and you just pull it out. Like you pull out a AA battery, and you can put a new battery in. Like things should be like that. Like a controller, definitely, because you're not making the controller water resistant. Like that's weird. Like why would you even do that? But like like phones and stuff like that. Like I think we're just so sold on the idea that buying the $1,200 water resistant phone that has all these features is like the only way to go. But like I think people are going to start going back to the $400 special price phone that like you have, like those are awesome. Like was it Marquez Brownlee said that cheap phones are getting really good and really good phones are getting really cheap.
Yeah, that's a banger quote from him. I think that's old at this point. That quote,
yes.
It's probably like 3 or 4 years old, maybe older. But it's so true. I mean, go walk in your local Walmart right now and pass by the electronics aisle, particularly the TVs. I am shocked. I bought my TCL 55-inch 4K, 120 hertz display TV, VRR, all that. Like it's got a decent amount of bells and whistles.
Yeah.
For $350, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now walk down the aisle today, you can get a 75-inch, 120 hertz panel, VRR, Google TV built in or Roku for like the same price.
Yeah.
or like the PVI I bought is now like a $198, Walmart special. It's like, what? Like I love my TV. I can't imagine. It's crazy how cheap good things are getting and how good cheap things are getting more relevance.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's a thing that's actually like a little off topic on this, but it's something that's funny where people are like, oh well, all these kids, they're buying iPhones and TVs and stuff, but like they're complaining they don't have any money. It's like, well, 30 years ago, there weren't really cell phones, but like electronics and TVs and things were incredibly expensive. The things that were not, food, shelter, water, the things that you need every day, those are now the things that are really expensive. And you can get all of the frivolous shit for cheaper, for pennies on the dollar compared to 30 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on. This conversation could go on. We could talk about like snack foods being affordable. And that's why
Oh yeah,
America is particularly so obese, because you can afford to buy the hot fries for 99 cents still, but you can't afford to buy the chicken breast, fresh chicken breast. That's way too. Or we could go on.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is not a chicken podcast.
No, not today. I mean, it could be
It
today.
can
You have
be.
me on. Anything can happen.
I don't know, man. We convert this podcast to a cooking
chicken breasts.
a cooking podcast.
Hey, eggs were $1.47 in the fridge the other day. I was like, whoa, that's a week worth of lunch right there. That's pretty good.
All right. So let's move on then, because we don't need to stay on that topic. Xbox. Xbox, man. So as a recently anointed Xbox hater, the things I'm seeing constantly, it just start making me really mad, because I've been a fan of Xbox since the very beginning, right? 25 years nearly being a fan of Xbox. And to see what they've been doing in the last year and a half, 2 years, whatever, and it's just making me sad, because like you get stuff like them, through the June announcements, they're like, look at all these great games, or Xbox Game Studios and Xbox whatever, and then immediately after, like, yeah, we're laying off a ton of people and all these studios are up for closure. And gladly, 5 studios are either being spun off into their own companies, and those companies are getting to, from what I understand, keep their IPs, and they're being given some resources to continue doing their work. And then some are being sold to another company. And so will never say that I understand big business and how that operates, but it's sad that even with all that, you're still getting 1,600 people got laid off, and 1,600 more people are going to be laid off at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to. I don't know how to add, other than just to be like, just feel for that industry, continue to feel. It's not new. I was made a terrible comparison. We can talk about that off camera, but there's a lot of terrible things in this world that we overlook because they happen too often. And job layoffs is one of those things, in particular this industry, because this is relevant to your show, is just like, what are we doing, man? I mean, it to me, my crazy leftist person apparently goes like, hey, maybe we shouldn't just lay off tens of thousands of people while the highest paying people at that company just continue to rake in the cash, and the investors continue to make bank while we just trash the people who made you the money. It's just kind of baffling to me that this is still going on. And that's all I gotta say. That's all on that, folks. Like, I don't know what else to even say. What else can you say?
I don't know. Also in the news, I'm just going to read this from exactly how I worded it here. Asha Sharma named advisor to the U.S. Federal Reserve's Productivity and Jobs Task Force. Right after...
It's such a bad look. I have not been in tune that much with the news the last week and a half or so.
Yeah,
because I've been moving to Wisconsin. But I did see that article, and I didn't read all of it because I just read the headline. Was like,
I kind of just read the headline too, but
just the headline.
Yeah,
it's what a terrible look. What a terrible look for everyone involved.
I will look into it more because, like I just said, I've kind of just saw the headline and I had to laugh, but
unless it says in the article that she also rehired all the tens of thousands of people she's fired in the past few weeks. Whatever. Like, that is not gonna make me feel much better.
Yeah, I will definitely make sure to get all the details before I make a full opinion and say something that's not stupid and on recording.
Yeah, but for now, headline, terrible look.
Headline is, I laughed just because of that. It's just in a weird, dark way. Like, just, what's one of those things that it just happens. You just have to laugh at these kind of things, I guess.
Yep.
But I am glad though that some of these studios are still getting to make their games. Some of these games like Compulsion Studios. I don't know if you played South of Midnight, but I just recently played it. It's really good, and I'm hoping that they get a new game that they're starting to work on, and they do well. And Double Fine has been a studio that a lot of people have loved for a long time. That Ninja Theory just had their announcement for the new Senua game. So I don't know who they're being sold to, but I'm hoping that whoever that they get sold to treats them well. I hope it's not a private equity firm that's just going to suck all the profit off of them and then put them in the trash like they do. Yeah. But like you said, like you said before we started recording, like I don't want to try not to be negative, but there's a lot of stuff that's going on that's super negative, like
it's stuff in our actual day-to-day life that's happening, but it's gone beyond bleeding into our hobby. It's ruining our hobby day by day, and it's just like, how can we ignore this? It's hard to ignore, especially when you talk, like, name any gaming topic you want to talk about these days. You can go from Ramageddon, you can go from layoffs, you can go from physical media being gone, and this is just the past few weeks.
Yeah,
it's just the past few weeks. There's, I mean, like, oh, I guess Splatoon Raiders comes out in a few weeks, or I guess Wolverine comes out in a couple months, and oh, I guess Xbox is gonna have another price increase in a few weeks, and we can laugh at them.
Oh my god!
I mean, we can. There's a lot of good things that could be happening too, I guess.
Gee, if I forgot about the price increase coming August 1st.
Wait, which are we talking about? The second price increase or the third price increase? What number are we even on at this point?
We are on. This will be number 3, I think.
Yeah.
So August 1st, the same Series X that I paid $500 for almost 6 years ago, it's going to be $800.
An appreciating asset, which I find funny because not to play the I told you so game, but I did say when the Switch 2 launched at $450, I was like, listen guys, we are not, like, get on this thing now, because there's no telling what happens next. So you're buying this thing, don't wait. If they're going to put out Zelda, they're going to put out Mario, maybe in a couple of years, but in a couple of years, this thing might be more expensive. You better get in now, because early adopters are now, rewarded. Whereas before, you were kind of stupid. You were just getting in early to play your games before everyone else, and you paid a tax for that. Now you're saving money by doing that.
Even the Switch 1, though, the Switch 1 never saw a price decrease. Like, not an official one, at least. Like,
no, yeah, good.
They may have, like, bundled a game in here, here and there, but, like, the Switch 1 never went down in price. No. Not officially, not like you could buy, obviously, secondhand and all this other stuff, but, like, buying a brand new Switch 1 never went down in price. It went up. It went up in price, actually.
Well, way later.
Yeah.
Yes, but the actual, like, acting era of Switch 1, it neither saw an increase or decrease. You're correct, yeah. Which we should have saw as a sign of things to come. We're being honest.
Yeah,
we may have overlooked that a little bit.
I don't think we could have known. There's certain stuff we could never have foreseen. The Ramageddon stuff, the component shortage stuff, like we all knew AI was a thing and that companies were investing in it, but it wasn't until like late last year where people finally really started discovering how bad it is, like how much is going on. Like when people discovered that Nvidia was investing in an AMD. They were buying AMD stock. But buying AMD stock inflated their stock, which made their company worth more, which gave that company more money. And they bought OpenAI stock, which did the same thing for OpenAI. And OpenAI would buy Nvidia stock, and they would just be buying stock from each other back and forth, just raising the price of their companies.
Do you need to blur this? But it's kind of like this action going on around here.
Dude, like...
Keep that in your brain.
We're keeping it in. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. But, like... Yeah, I mean, it's what we're a little over half an hour into the recording, and so I think you can't be lewd in the first like 2 minutes of a YouTube video. But after that, I don't know. There's no rules. The Wild West.
There's no rules. Just don't. Well,
no
there's
rules.
one rule. There's actually a few rules.
Yeah, there's a couple rules. But yeah, I totally forgot what I was saying.
I'm just picturing me taking my shirt off, running around naked right now. That's all I'm picturing.
There's one rule.
Nobody ever pays me in gum.
Jeez. All right.
Anyway, the price increase for Xbox is crazy. It is what the Series X now costs $800.
Yeah. So I still have mine. and I'm kind of like questioning if I want to sell it. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to screw somebody over and be like, oh well, a new one's $800. Never mind selling mine for $700. Like no, like I'd probably, if I'm gonna sell it, I'm gonna try to make it a good deal for somebody. But I don't really play mine anymore. I play everything on my Steam Deck now, or Switch 2. I haven't really played a lot of Switch 2, but with Ocarina of Time remake coming out, man, that thing's gonna get a lot of use. I'm gonna play that a lot. With Star Fox, I'm definitely gonna pick it up at some point. We've played a lot of Star Fox, so if you're a Nintendo gamer, you are gonna be doing pretty well, I think. Because even after the price increase, it's not gonna be that much more expensive than it was. It sucks that it is going up, but they're bundling games with it right now, and like you're trying to get it in people's hands before they have to do that price increase, I suppose. But yeah, you see like all these game announcements. There, you start to see more and more on Switch 2, like in the little icons in the bottom. Especially Capcom games, which are some of the best ones. Like Capcom's coming out with some really awesome games this year and next year. Monster Hunter Wilds.
Recently, Monster Hunter Wilds. We're getting that on Switch 2. Is that announced yet?
Yeah, so they had a Monster Hunter event kind of thing, and at the very end of like a little interview, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's in development." So they don't have a date or anything. My guess is that if it's coming out anytime soon, they're going to release it alongside the DLC next year, whenever that comes out.
Yeah.
But you got Monster Hunter Wilds, or Resident Evil 9, and Pragmata are already like seriously, like they run so well on Switch 2. Better on Switch 2 than on Steam Deck, even because of DLSS and all this other stuff they're doing.
Recently beat Pragmata, I did, and apparently I'm Yoda. and I beat Pragmata recently, and it was just incredible. Like the ending of the game was, I found it great. I think it's got some criticism a little bit here and there. And I mean, it's all. I've only heard fair criticism. I haven't not heard anything extreme. But it did not affect my gaming experience so much that was like 6 out of 10. Like some people did. I'm like, that's a little rough. I would give this a nice solid 8 out of 10. If I was Metacritic, I'd say like 85. I mean, it's like a really solid experience I had, and especially on Switch 2. I mean, like you said, it runs better on there than Steam Deck, which theoretically should not. But that's the theme of Switch 2 is like everything should run better on everything besides the Switch 2. But it doesn't because of the magic that they got going on there.
Yeah. Also, like with PC, right? That's the thing about PC is that optimization's tough because you have to optimize for specific hardware. So when you optimize the game for Switch 2, there's only one hardware. That's it. Right, so when you make the game run really well on that one hardware, you don't have to worry about another person picking up the same game on a Switch 2 and having a different experience. My experience with the demo, I didn't play the actual full game yet. I will get to it. But with the demo, I installed the demo on the Steam Deck, and I started it up. It started compiling shaders, which is something that happens on SteamOS. It does it before your game loads, so it doesn't have to do it while you're playing. So it is a good idea in this particular case because it doesn't need, because all the stuff's already on. Like the game doesn't have to reach out onto a server and be like, hey, is there shaders already for this, or like have to like say like, oh, for this hardware you need these things and blah blah blah. Like it's already set up on Switch 2. So I in the amount of time it took to compile shaders on my Steam Deck, I downloaded the demo. I didn't have it downloaded yet on Switch 2. I downloaded the demo, started it, played it for 5 minutes, and I finally got a menu option to pop up on Steam Deck to where I could actually like start playing it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not I'm already like in it. I'm just gonna finish the demo. But yeah, it's they have some kind of magic going on. And now you see more Capcom games. Onimusha, that was never officially announced for Switch 2, is now releasing day and date. We got Devil May Cry 5, which is an old game, but can run at 90 frames per second apparently on Switch 2.
Okay.
It has like a 120 hertz mode or something, but like it's essentially just like an unlocked frame rate, and it'll hit 120 at times, but when it's not hitting 120, it sticks at 90. Like,
Yeah, like when you're going from 120 to 90 and you're bouncing around in that realm, it's way different than if you're like bouncing between 30 and 60.
yeah,
It's like a completely different realm. I think it's way more forgivable and way less noticeable. So like I think that's great actually that they're doing that. That's a console, or that's a PC kind of feature that they're giving to the Switch too, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's, and it's funny because I think some of the other versions, like maybe PS5 might do that. I mean, I'm sure, but the fact that it's a handheld, right? That's the thing. Is like, I there's been a lot of Switch 2 haters on the internet. It's ever since it was first announced.
I can put it directly in front of my face, Jeff, and I see you entirely. like
small.
You cannot do that with a PS5. You can't even do it with a Steam Deck. I mean, like you can with. Although if I
this
put
thing's
on
big, this guy's chonky.
If I toss on the old Nixies here, I still see you entirely. I still see you. You're all the way there. I mean, like, as I say on my show, as great as PS5 is and Xbox used to be, can you take your Xbox or PS5 on the toilet? Now, the amount of times I say that, people might think I'm like pooping all over this thing. I've not once in my entire life pooped and played my Switch. Actually, maybe once or twice. Like when I first got it, I was like enthralled with it. Other than that, definitely never done with Switch 2. So can't confirm. No poop on Switch 2. Hashtag no poop on Switch 2.
So I'm gonna put that in the description.
Please do.
Yeah, like it's I think it's a great power boost from Switch 1 to Switch 2, and I think when you look at, and people do this all the time, you look at the specs, it's like what, the equivalent of like a RTX 2060 or something, whatever it happens to be. It's not like a new, like,
Switch 2? Which one are you talking about?
Switch 2, the Switch 2 GPU, whatever.
Equivalent to a 2070?
Something like that. I forget exactly.
That sounds a little high. Honestly,
that's what I remember hearing. It's not like it isn't literally like a 2060 or 2070 or something like that in there. It's like it's a different architecture and all that, obviously, but I guess that's what it's being said as the equivalent of. That's why I can only do DLSS1 because that's a little bit older. But like you look at what it does, like, and look at Nintendo. Like their games have never been chasing realism. Like they're like they're fun, they're colorful, they look pretty good for what they are, but then now you have a system that's capable of playing these third-party games that are really good, and you're getting this third-party support's ramping up, and it's looking really good right now for Switch 2. And I think if you're like, I think I was trying to say before, if you're strictly a Nintendo gamer, you're gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good generation, I think.
It has been so far, and we haven't even seen a first-party Zelda or Mario.
Yeah,
and it's already been a good year. So, like, I mean, like, normally it'd be like, wow, this like coming off. If you would have told me coming off of the end of Switch 1, where we had 2 years of ports and remasters, I've said those two words in succession 100,000 times.
Ports and remasters.
Ports and remasters. We had ports and remasters exclusively for 2 years from Nintendo. And if you tell me that we wouldn't have a Zelda or Mario in the first year plus, I'd be like, no, it's going to be a disaster. Like, what, Nintendo? What are you doing? Why would you? And it hasn't been. It has not been a disaster. It's been a little light for me, being somebody who likes Mario and loves Zelda, and only having the Hyrule Warriors, which I cried about, but still only having that. And not like actual what we want yet, because we're not there yet anyway. But my point is that without having those things, it's still been great. So I mean, it's how much better can it get? I mean, we're getting Ocarina of Time, baby. Just a few more months. I mean, that's going to be incredible.
If it looks anything like that very small like part where it shows Link sleeping in the bed or whatever, if it looks even half as good as that when you're playing the actual game, like it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. How old is that game? The game's like 30 years old now, isn't it? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's it's not quite 30, but it's getting there.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's getting there.
Yeah, I mean, it's these days, in my opinion, when it comes to like remakes and like stuff like that, the amount of time between a a game releasing and then needing to do a remake, is it stretches out more and more as we progress with stuff. So I think these days a game has to be at least like 20 years old, really, for it to need a remake. You can get NSO with expansion pack and play the original still.
You can.
And to think that they let us have that. I mean, we're paying for it, I guess, technically, but to let us have that, but then also give us this remake, and I think it's gonna be awesome. One of my favorite things when they made that announcement is watching videos of people who aren't chronically online and that watched that trailer.
Yeah.
And just they're like, oh, looks like Zelda, and then it plays the first 3 notes, and immediately they're like, and they just like something like wakes up in them, and it's like this. I felt that too,
Mm-hmm. You heard the high pitched chime of the CTR, or excuse me, CRT.
Yeah.
You're like, like my buddy of mine told me how he's like this is when it was still a rumor. He's like, I'm buying a Switch 2 this year if that happens. I'm buying a Switch 2. I'm buying the Ocarina Edition Switch 2 if that's also a thing.
It should be.
Still don't know if it is.
It should be.
It is. It should. They're going to make bank if they. But Nintendo typically does not make bank when they know they could. A la where's our Pro Joy-Cons? But like this is obviously selling people who aren't even on the platform right now to get on the platform, just in time for a price increase.
Oh, I know, right? I know that we don't yet know when it's going to release Ocarina of Time, but the rumor is... I
bet my life that it's after the price increase, though.
Yes, I think so, too. I don't think we're going to see any... we're not going to see, in my opinion, we're not going to see anything about it until maybe September.
Agreed.
So the next time we see another trailer for it, it's probably be a full direct maybe in Nintendo in September, and then it'll probably release sometime in the fall. The anniversary, from what I remember, is actually like 2 days away from GTA's release. And
yes.
So they can do the funniest thing and either release it the same day or release it 2 days later. And there's going to be I'm not saying that there's a huge overlap between people who are really big GTA fans and people who are Ocarina of Time fans, but there's an overlap. And so you're going to make people question which one they want to pick up. And I wonder where people will go, like which direction they go.
Yeah, first of all, I'd bet my life. I bet my life on after. I almost bet my life on the date. I'm not doing that. That's a terrible idea.
No, please don't. Please don't do that.
I'm fairly confident of the exact date. It's going to be this, and it's the same day as GTA. I think November 19th. I'm almost positive it's coming out on that day, because not only is it a couple days after the release, but it's a Thursday, which Nintendo's putting the games out on Thursdays, so that's another green flag for that. Also, late November, that time frame, just like Ocarina came out a couple days. That was the 17th of November in 1998. So like the fact that it's on a Thursday, the 19th, the fact that other Zelda games have also come out on that same date as well, that the 19th, and that again, that same week, like it is so clearly coming out that week. The only reason it wouldn't be that week is because of Nintendo's just slightly concerned about the GTA thing. And you saying people overlapping, I think GTA's audience is so vast that true. Of course it overlaps. That's like saying like people also like Coke in there. It's like yeah probably like it's such a vast. It's a terrible example, but it's such a vast audience of people who are going to buy GTA. They're going to make so much money because so many people are going to buy it. Because there's so many people, that just means that there's so many different people.
Yes.
And of course it's going to overlap, but I don't think in the slightest that Nintendo is worried about competing with GTA. Definitely not the game. They're probably a little concerned about the money of it. Like they're concerned about people's wallets competing with GTA, because that is a thing. Like it's not the game that's going to be competing, it's going to be their wallet. Can they afford to buy GTA and Ocarina at the same time? But it's a November game. I mean, if it's not November game, it's just before or just after. So we're talking October or December. And either way, it's still competing with GTA and the wallet.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
just because it's going to be a few weeks before that or a few weeks after, it doesn't mean it's still not compete. People get paychecks in this country pretty much every 2 weeks on average.
Yeah.
That's so like there's only 2 paychecks in a month, and it's not like you're what? It's just gonna be a couple more, just one more paycheck later or one before or after. Like I don't think they can't think like that. I think most of the industry does think like that because they're scared because they're not Nintendo, but because it's Nintendo, I don't think they should be that scared to do it. And it just makes the 19th makes the perfect sense. It makes the perfect sense. I'm Italian now.
Isn't that also your birthday?
It is my birthday, and I'm willing it. Jeff. I'm willing it to
your
to
birthday
happen
gift?
as well. Yeah, a little birthday. Come on. It's a little birthday gift for Uncle G. Come
Yeah.
on,
I think you are onto something there. I think, like you said, it's either on the anniversary date and they do something a little bit out of left field there, or it's on the same day as GTA, or they push into December. They don't want to push it. They wouldn't want to push it too late because then you kind of miss out on the holiday season, and you want people to have plenty of time to, like, you want it to be in stores and stuff. You want people to be able to pick it up as a gift. You don't want to be like
Metroid Prime 4, where they released it way too late, and it affects sales on top of the fact that it wasn't going to sell well anyway.
Yeah. Well,
not to rub that in your face, Jeff.
It's another podcast episode, I suppose. But no, yeah, this is what I'll say. Metroid Prime 4 was more of a first-person Zelda clone than it was a Metroidvania kind of game.
And that's why I liked it so much.
It was good. I liked it. Yeah, like it's.
Can I say something real quick about no offense, the whiny Metroid fans? I don't think you're one of them, Jeff. I think it's mostly other people. But so it's like someone who likes vanilla and likes chocolate, but was given vanilla when they ordered chocolate, and they're like, man, come on. I just wanted vanilla. I mean, I like vanilla, but I just wanted vanilla, but I got chocolate. What's going on here? And it's like, can you chill? Like, like you like this too, right? Now, but there's more to it. I know, like, yeah, you waited like however long to get the game, and I get it. But it's like, it still tasted good, but people are spitting it out because it's not what they wanted. And I think we need to chill out a little bit. Some people are taking it a little bit too extreme, in my opinion. Yeah. Just like really leaning into it and saying, I hate this game. And it's like, no, you hate what happened, but you actually liked the game. And I actually feel like the majority of people who said they didn't like the game actually did like it. It just wasn't exactly what they wanted. Mm-hmm. And at that point, maybe look at your life choices, and if you're complaining about it on the internet because you're like, I didn't get what I want. Like, that's not like my niece. Okay, like, chill out.
I think that if you took out all of the Metroid branding and you released Metroid Prime 4 as an adventure game by a third-party company across all platforms, people would like it. People would buy it and they would like it. The problem is that you put Metroid on it and people are like, this isn't Metroid. And it's like, yeah, I get that, but it can be more than what it is. Like, I look at me, like, I literally, my entire identity is tied into this genre of games here. And I'm okay with it not being exactly like a Metroidvania. It's fine.
Yeah. It could have been better. Absolutely, for you guys in particular, it could have been so much better. And that you should be disappointed about. I'm not going to take that away from you. There's just some people who are really... Like, I love Arlo. But, like, Arlo was like, I didn't even beat the game. And I watched this video. And that was, like, one of the first videos I watched in Arlo in a while where I was like... Because sometimes he does this. Sometimes Arlo says something where I'm like... you need a reality check, brother. Like, because he like, I didn't beat the game, and I stopped watching the video after a little bit. I'm like, Arlo, like, you're just whining right now. Like, like you didn't beat the game. You were literally throwing a temper tantrum. Like, it was a good game. You like Zelda games. It was a good game.
I think also with Arlo specifically is I don't know how you expect me to take you seriously. You are a puppet. I love Arlo. I love his videos. You all right?
What do you mean, Jeff? What do you mean? What could you possibly be talking about?
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, it's just...
Ow.
That's all I'll say about it. Is
Getting too old for that, Jeff.
his videos are great, but yeah, yeah, all that stuff being said about all the stuff that's happening in the industry. I ordered my Steam machine.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to bring that up. I'm very excited.
I left it for just if we had
vicariously
extra
through you.
time, because I didn't want to put too much time into it and talk about it, because we had so much other stuff from the other platforms that we could have.
Yeah, we
talked
wouldn't
about.
want to talk about the positive stuff for too long.
Yeah.
We have a lot of negative stuff to hard.
Well, we'll let people slog through the negativity to get to the end.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. I got the email on Friday night, late Friday night, and I placed the order as soon as I could. And I don't imagine anything's being processed over the weekend, so it's probably going to be, sometime next week when I actually get it. But I'm going to be making a bunch of videos, unboxing and first impressions and all that stuff, obviously, but testing out some games, and there's a lot of videos out there already from bigger creators that are criticizing it for the performance and stuff, and they're comparing it to a PS5, right? And yeah, a PS5 can get better or more consistent frame rates and stuff, but there's some stuff you have to remember. People are comparing console to PC, right? And PC gaming is so very different. On a PlayStation, if you put it in performance mode, the goal for the PlayStation is to get 60 frames per second and stay there as much as possible. So it changes other things. It changes the quality. It changes the resolution. And dynamic resolution is a big thing on Xbox and the PlayStation, where it'll drop that resolution down to get a better frame rate. And so on PC, that doesn't really happen. You pick a resolution, and that's what it stays at. So if the frame rate changes, if the frame rate's at 50 instead of 60, and on PlayStation you're getting 60, people are like, oh, PlayStation's better. It's really kind of secretly in the background tricking you into thinking that it's doing a really good job. But yeah, I'm excited to get the Steam machine. It's I've kind of put all my eggs in that one basket at this point.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's not the worst platform to put your eggs in right now. I enjoy my setup right now, and my setup is a Switch 2 and a PS5. And that did include a Steam Deck and a computer, which I obviously still have. I used to do my content and stuff. But I actually did the opposite of what you did. I've eliminated the computer side of it. But that's one, because I had to sell my Steam Deck to afford Switch 2. That had to happen. I wasn't going to miss a Switch 2.
Yeah.
So that was a necessary evil. I was already thinking about buying a new one, but not after this price increase. Absolutely not. That dream is dead.
No, it's not worth it after that price increase.
No. I was actually looking at the Xbox OLED, the white one. I was like, no, that looks kind of enticing at $500 that I don't have. But then eliminating the PC, because number one, it's going to be there when I get back. The Steam platform is going to be there when I get back. It's not like, you put all your eggs in Switch, it's Wii U, for example, and just to have none of those games transfer Switch 2. Like that, for example, if I take a good 10-year hiatus from Nintendo, starting in the Wii U, coming to Switch 2, I can't play those games. Those Wii U discs will not work on my Switch 2. But my Steam games that I bought 10 years ago are going to work on my Steam computers in the future. So it's going to be when I get back. I got games on that platform. It's not going anywhere. Hopefully, who knows what's going to happen in the future? It's so uncertain now. But I did the opposite of what you did, but I'm very happy with my Switch, my Nintendo, platform, and my PS5. I'm just going to buy the PS5 exclusives. I'm going to buy the Switch exclusives, and what doesn't come to those services is likely I'm not interested in anyway, because I have not been in Xbox universe for a very long time. I'll say this though, Jeff. Want to hear something fun?
Yeah,
some positive fun stuff. As we're moving out, Abby's always told me her dad had an Xbox, and I'm like, where? We lived there for 7 years, never saw it. And then she's like, it's out in the garage. I'm like, not in the garage. It's not probably. They don't have a lot of things in proper stored properly. So I'm like, if it's out there, that thing's toast. No way.
Yeah.
But then as we're moving, we found it. Just sitting in. It was sitting not in a. It was just sitting in a like actually what's behind me, like these you can't quite see it, but
Oh
like
yeah.
like one of those but like a single drawer of one of those plastic like file cabinet things, just a single, it was just sitting in the drawer, just out in the open, a whole Xbox, controllers and games, in a garage in the Midwest where the temperature goes from 80 to 90 degrees in the summer to negative 20 in the winter for 7 years. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, we found it. It looks good on the outside, but there's no chance this thing works. I'm like, there's no way this thing works. It works, man. It works.
What Xbox has it?
The original Xbox.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
right.
The original Xbox. He had a few good games. He had NFL Blitz, which I'm like, oh hell yeah, that game's awesome. He had Forza. He's playing some Forza. He had Need for Speed. He's a car guy. He likes the racing games, and a couple other games. And I recently bought myself NBA or NFL 2K5 because I have nostalgia for that game. Like that one's coming in a few days. I'm gonna get some Halos. I'm gonna go get me some Halos. I think I still have them. Like my brother or sister has them, but like I don't have them. So I'm gonna get myself some old Xbox games, rebuy them for myself, and I'm having fun. This house came with a CRT TV. We inherited this from her uncle. Well, we didn't inherit it, but you know what I mean. It was open to us to live here because of her uncle, who passed away unfortunately. But he had a bunch of stuff that was in here, including an old CRT, just like I don't know how many, like a foot long, maybe 12-inch, 15-inch screen, very small screen. So the other night I was playing Xbox games on a CRT in the pitch black at 1 a.m. just like having fun. Now it was so nostalgic. It reminds me of the days. Now I'm more nostalgic for 360, but I was there. I did play some Xbox games, and but just the experience of the old control, the old control. It wasn't the Duke. He has like the other version, the newer, not the Duke.
Right.
But anyway, that whole experience was so much fun the other night I was having, and I don't know why I told you that, but I just want to tell you that was fun because it was just a nice positive thing at the end of the show as opposed to all the negativity.
Yeah, I thank you for that though, because it's that brought back memories for me because like I said, I was big Xbox fan for the entire time Xbox has been around, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember having my original Xbox and bringing it over to. There was a friend that was having a birthday party, and he had a bunch of people over, and we had 4 Xboxes connected to each other over like a little network switch, and we were playing Halo. Like, and you could do Halo with
16 people.
16 people, right? 8 versus 8, and like it was just a crazy, like it was. You couldn't even imagine, like back then, you couldn't even imagine that. Now it's like online games are like 100 versus 100 and all this other stuff. It's like irrelevant now, but back then, to get 16 people playing one game on a console, it was unheard of. Like it was PC, like PC had it for a long time with like LAN parties and stuff.
Right.
But that was the first time you could get a home console and connect that many and have that many players and have it as easy as plugging all of them into a network switch and then
I have a core memory. I was around 10 years old the towards the end of the Xbox transition going into the 360, but this is probably around 2004, and my brother and sister were having a LAN party with Xboxes with their friends, and I was just little brother who was there. But I mean, I got to play some, and it was that situation. We had our living, I had this core memory baked in my brain of 4 CRT TVs in the room with 4 Xboxes with 16 people playing or whatever, and it was incredible. Halo 2 in particular, that was the game we were all playing. It was just what a time to be alive. And that I had a little taste of that the other night, going back and plugging in the Xbox and just kind of just playing some NFL Blitz. Oh, I also have an Arena Football League game. That one I've had that disc for a very long time. I was kind of into Arena Football back in the day because my Philly Soul were actually pretty good back, and they won a couple chips. So that was like the right time, that right era where I bought that game. And it sells the yellow used tag on the box, like it has the eBay, not eBay, EB Games.
Oh,
like
EB Games,
yellow, formerly EB Games. Now it's GameStop because they But I still have that like used tag on it. It was Anyway, very nostalgic. The other night I was getting over here because I'm actually Abby's not here. My wife is not here right now. She's actually dog sitting for her parents. So I've been here for the last 2 days by myself. So getting the shenanigans. No wife, no rules.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Thinking back on it, and like, the original Xbox, like no one had like flat screen TVs yet. Like if you did, you were kind of like rich. So, playing 4 players on one tube TV for Halo, I remember it being great. But thinking like if I tried to do that now, it'd be a nightmare. Like, I think we're just so used to a quality of life that like, but it's
that's where our IT brains were born when we were playing with our Xboxes, trying to set up LAN parties or whatever. Like, early days, like for me it was like when the PS1 or the regular PlayStation, not the PS1, we had just the older PlayStation. We rented that from Best Buy from Blockbuster. When you said that earlier, I'm like, I almost said it like, yeah, like I've done that too. And we actually bought out the rental eventually and kept it, but I like trying to mess with the open the cartridge, or not cartridge, the disc drive, trying to open that thing up. It's like it was stuck. It's like smacking the, like trying to, and then you got to hit the corner, hit the opposite corner, and it like jarred it open. And don't do that while it was spinning, because then you hear the bad sound, the sound of death. You break your game.
I don't know if it was the original Xbox, or I know the 360 I think had this, where you could eject the disc with the paperclip.
Yeah, that's the original Xbox. I think there's a hole.
Yeah, it's like it's been a thing on disc drives forever, where you stick a paperclip in there and it like it's like a physical button that you press and it like pushes the tray out or whatever. But yeah, like original Xbox, man.
I used one as a DVD player for a long time. My sister left it at the house, so she went off to college, and she's about 8 years older than me, so I had quite a bit of time without her as a kid, and she left her Xbox here at the house, and I just was messing around with it in my room and turned it into like a DVD CD player for my room.
Yeah.
I have quite a few memories with PlayStation, Xbox, and ironically I have the least amount of memories with Nintendo growing up. I did have that's ironic because I'm a big Nintendo guy now, but I actually only had a Game Boy Advance. That's all I ever had. I did play some 64 at a friend's house quite frequently, and then eventually a GameCube. But I didn't actually own that stuff. My core memories are built on Xbox and PlayStation, and it's so sad to see, to bring this right back into a nice little bow at the end here. It's just so sad to see like this, because I'm not a Nintendo homer. I don't hate the other ones and love Nintendo. I'm actually quite literally not that guy. I actually have core memories with the two platforms that are now really messing up the industry, and it's so sad to see that those two platforms are really not only under delivering for us, but just screwing the industry up.
Yeah.
No words, man.
Yeah. Just
no words.
Yeah, it's just sad, but that's we're at a little over an hour, so I'll definitely obviously have you on again. It's it's always a good episode when you're on. I mean, obviously this is the second one, so 2 out of 2 ain't bad, right?
Thanks, man.
So yeah, I don't even know how to wrap this episode up.
I have an idea. Hold on, I got an idea. Give me a second.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Here we go.
Okay, this is the end of the show. This is I'm Arlo's cousin, Mello, and this has been the Podtroidvania podcast, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching, listening, and all that. The next episode will be in about a month for August, and have a great day.
Bye.
See you guys.